Kind of a weird title tonight from Luke. We're actually in week 17, believe it or not, of the Luke series. You can't believe it. And thankfulness destroys propriety. That's the title of tonight's lesson. Thankfulness destroys propriety. You know, I could have said thankfulness like trumps propriety, or thankfulness undermines propriety, or thankfulness is better than propriety. But destroy is just such a word that satisfies me more, even though it may not be the right word. Destroys propriety, all right?
Oh my God. Well, your children, I think it would be appropriate on live is to give a hand of applause to Christopher Graham, who won the national championship 110 hurdle race for the NAI college level in America.
No way! He did?
Yes.
Christopher Graham, man! Congratulations, bro! Whoa! I got a missed call from him.
That's probably what he was calling.
That's probably what he was calling me about. I got to call him back at the end of the day. We're going to do a little review. All right? Pharisees and lawyers. You remember that the Pharisees and the lawyers rejected the purpose of God for themselves. Read that again. The Pharisees and the lawyers rejected the purpose of God for themselves. That's not a note. That's like out of Luke. That's what Luke says in that scripture. It's an incredible statement. So then you look at chapter 7, verse 31, and Jesus really lets them have it. So what then shall I compare the people of this generation? What are they like? They are like the children sitting in the marketplace and calling to one another. We played the flute for you, and you did not dance. We sang a dirge, but you did not weep. For John, oh yeah, sorry. Forgive me, I'm jumping ahead, and it's because I got the double on my notes. Now we're good to go. So my one takeaway from this, we talked about last week, and it sounds like an oversimplification, but these guys played in crowds. I was in a church today, Family Church in Whittier, where the lead pastor came up to me with his son, who was preaching this Sunday. It's a father-son team. These guys are awesome. And he said, you know, Johnny, we know that you're a really passionate guy. We just want you to know that that's not how we are. Because we don't want anyone to ever think that we're manipulating them with our energy levels. And I thought, and when they said that, it really spoke to me. Because we've all been a part of church gatherings and church communities before, where we've seen people not, you know, and again, I got to be really careful because it may seem like it's, you guys all right?
It's not short of the life.
It doesn't matter. Just you figure it out if you want. Maybe private or something. No, it's not bad to have the energy, and they totally let me be myself, right? Because they know I'm just a mess. I am the way I am. But I just thought, when's the last time I heard a lead pastor of a church say, we go out of our way to communicate in a way that's not going to feel people going to feel like they're being taken someplace, you know? And I thought, you know, say what you want to say about that. I respect it. I really do. It's the opposite of what Jesus says that generation is doing when he was alive. He says, we played the flute for you and you did not dance. In other words, we created a happy moment for you to make you happy. We sang a dirge. We brought sadness and you did not weep. That was the Pharisee mindset during that day and age. They were thinking, we want to manipulate, we want to twist. Stay with me, guys. Don't worry about what's going on up here. And in fact, if we need to kill it, we can kill it. Because I need you to stay focused with me too. That's why 1/3 of our group tonight. So what Jesus was saying is he's calling them out as crowd manipulators. And in the next passage, he says, for John the Baptist has come eating no bread and drinking no wine. And you say he has a demon. Now, why did they say he has a demon? Because they didn't like him. And he was taking everybody away from the temple, institutional structure, out to the wilderness, right? So they're going to say he has a demon to poison the crowd against him and against his ministry. Well, Jesus comes, and where does Jesus do the majority of his teaching? In and around temple culture, right? But they don't like him either, do they? So they call him a glutton and a drunkard, a friend of tax collectors and sinners. And then he says this, yet wisdom is justified by all her children. And what I think that means, and there's a lot of different translations of that last verse, is we're going to know what is really legit, what is really of God. Kind of, Nora mentioned it the other night. If it's of the Lord, it will last. And if it's not of the Lord, it's not going to last. In other words, we're going to know what's wise because we're going to see the fruit that it bears and be sure that it gives fruit. I had a stressful experience recently, and it really jacked me up. And I got to begin this by just asking the question. Anybody ever lost their keys or the wallet or a receipt? And did you end up having to go into the trash can? Anybody ever have to go into the trash can for that? Yeah. At one time they were in the trash can. When you go into the trash can, what is the trash that you dread? Like let's say, oh, I gotta go through that trash. I avoided it. You pull the bag out, you open it up, and you're gonna go in.
Diapers.
It's diapers is number one. Dog poop is number two. All right, diapers, dog poop, food and hair. Yeah. Coffee grounds. That's my number one, which makes no sense because of how much I love coffee, but even worse than diapers because I got a pretty good method with diapers. I can like fold them up from the outside and push them to the side and quarantine them with a paper plate. But the coffee grounds, I can't do that with. The coffee grounds, I got my wife choking over because that means I'm doing really good. I prayed about this analogy, so like the Lord is with me. The coffee grounds, I feel like I'm being paged right now. I hear it. Okay. The coffee grounds are everywhere. And what happens if you drop wet coffee grounds? They go everywhere. You find them weeks later, don't you? Maybe even more than weeks later. They stain. You know, the worst is when I pull a receipt out and the acid from the coffee grounds has melted the ink off the receipt. Therefore, I cannot return the thing that doesn't work. Because I don't have my receipt. I hate coffee grounds. And I use the word hate. I hate coffee grounds. Well, we are going to get there because there is a good use to old coffee grounds. All right? But let me tell you what is a bad use for coffee grounds. This. This is not awesome. And I'm not going to get in an argument about it. I'm going to speak facts. Let me tell you what this is. I get up in the shower, all right? And I'm out of body wash. And so I'm like, well, I'm out of body wash. There's no bar of soap. What am I going to do? I'm too lazy to get out and dry myself off, you know, and go looking for some more body wash, you know what I'm saying? So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to look around these shelves. Man, it's got like 5 bottles of conditioner. There's an old kid bottle of shampoo that's empty now. There's nothing in there. But glimmering up on the little windowsill is this Trader Joe's coffee body scrub with sea salt and coconut oil. Doesn't it sound wonderful, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. So I open it up and it's sealed. And I'm like, it's brand new. I get all budgeted out. And it is the first moment I open it, the smell of used coffee grounds washes up over me, number one. Number two, when I touch it, it's like I suddenly have PTSD from, am I looking for a receipt right now? Like, did I lose my keys? Like, what? And then unimaginably, I take my handful of this stuff and I slap it on my chest, because that's where I begin studying, is on the chest area, all right? Take my loofah doofa thing and I start scrubbing, and the moment the water hits me, do you know where these coffee grounds go?
That's explained.
Everywhere you don't want them to go. And they go places you're not going to get them out again from. And I realized what I was doing was trying to wash myself with trash. It's like I should have just gone out and gotten in that big trash can out on the side of the house and just snuggled up in one of those hefties, got a little diaper pillow, and just rubbed coffee grounds all over my body like I'm some receipt. You know what I'm saying? But it's not me. I'm not a receipt. It's me, Johnny. I got so depressed by it and then I'm looking down and the coffee grounds are just big enough that they don't drain down the drain super easy. So they're gathering around the edge of the drain. So disgusting, all right? Here's the problem with this. Number one, you hear the fans, okay? But I promise you, none of y'all want to smell like my trash can. And that's exactly what you're going to smell like if you ever scrub your body with this, okay? You're going to smell like my trash can. Number two, Trader Joe's, whom I love Trader Joe's, they use the right font. Look at that font. Coffee Body Scrub. I mean, and they brag about the price. Let me read you their ad. If you're anything like us, it takes at least 1 cup of Joe in the morning to get you operating on all 4 cylinders. The routine is foolproof. Shower, dress, coffee, then everything else. But since we're all about efficiency over here, we've taken the liberty of amending the routine of yours as follows. This is real stuff. Shower with coffee. Dress, then more coffee. That's right. With our new limited edition, Trader Joe's Coffee Body Scrub, you can now literally bathe yourself in old used coffee grounds from the daggum trash can. Doesn't say that's my edited part. I really honestly feel, and then they brag about the price. They say down here, there's all this stuff about vegetable glycerin and scrub on the damn skin, and then they say, silky summer epidermis, here you come. We've seen similar trendy scrubs retail for $9.99 and way up, but at Trader Joe's, we're committed to values that will perk you up. So we're selling each 8-ounce tub of Coffee Body Scrub bag for the buzzworthy price of $4.99. What a deal. Isn't that just awesome? They went out and scraped out their trash can, stuck it in a bottle, sprinkled some coconut on top, packed it up, and they said, $5. What a deal for you. The font sells it, the packaging sells it. All right? Right after Jesus says, and wisdom is vindicated by her children, verse 36 shows up. One of the Pharisees asked Jesus to eat with him, and he went into the Pharisee's house and reclined at the table. And behold, a woman of the city, take that for what you want, a woman of the city who was a sinner, when she learned that Jesus was reclining at the table in the Pharisee's house, brought an alabaster flask of wine. And standing behind him at his feet, weeping, she began to wet his feet with her tears and wiped them with the hair of her head and kissed his feet and anointed them with the ointment. Now when the Pharisee who had invited him saw this, he said to himself, if this man were a prophet, he would have known who and what sort of woman this is who is touching him. For she is a sinner. And Jesus, he says this to himself. Jesus answering said to him, Simon, I have something to say to you. And he answered, say it, teacher. What does it mean that he says, say it, teacher? What is Simon saying to Jesus? Here.
Bring it.
So say it's like, cool, right? Bring it. You're in my house. That's why Jesus is in a way asking permission. This is Jesus' subtle way of asking for permission because he is in Simon's house, right? Simon says, I say it. What about say it, teacher? What is Simon saying about the fact that he uses the word teacher? Yeah, so he's a Pharisee himself, right? But if he says, you're my teacher, what is he saying to Jesus? Right, I'm your student. You're my teacher. Say it, teacher. Even though I just thought all these evil thoughts about you, let me proclaim to you that, didn't he? He just said Jesus doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know who he sees. Okay? But let me call you teacher in public. Because I want people to know that you are a teacher. This is what we talked about last week. When you're fully trained, if we could silence phones, it'd be awesome. If we're fully trained, and I don't know whose that is, so I'm not trying to call anybody out. It's not you, it's me. It's my fragile train of thought. If you're fully trained, then you will equal your teacher. And so the questions I asked last week were, what is your training? In other words, who is your teacher? What are they teaching you? And finally, who are you training? And what we've learned from Matthew 5 in the message on Sponsorship Sunday is that it's not what's spoken outside of ourselves that identifies who we are, but spoken from where? From where? The heart. Out of the abundance of the heart, what? The mouth speaks. So it's what goes on in the heart that reflects. So he says, say it, teacher. But why is Jesus addressing him? He's addressing him because he knows what the internal dialogue was inside in the Pharisee. Follow me? So Jesus is going to speak to that. A certain moneylender had two debtors. One owed 500 denarii and the other 50. When they could not pay, he canceled the debt of both. Now, which one of them will love him more? Now I'm going to read that again, but I just want to make it really clear, that this is one of the shortest parables Jesus ever tells anybody. Look at how short it is. And there's a reason why it's short, okay? A certain moneylender had two debtors. One owed 500 denarii and the other 50. When they could not pay, he canceled the debt of both. Now, which of them will love him more? Simon answered, the one, I suppose, for whom he canceled the larger debt. Right? And Jesus says to him, right, you have judged rightly. And I want to pause there. We're going to read the rest of this, but I want to pause there. And I want you to know something. I have a huge debt that Jesus has paid for me. I have a spiritual debt that he has paid for me. I don't know why I did it. It's not a big deal, but it was very interesting because I put a song on Facebook that I wrote way back in the day when I started to follow Jesus as a celebration that this lady at Long Beach Church of the Nazarene prayed over my throat, and God finally healed me to be able to sing. I sang some of the worship songs tonight. Now, I can't sing that upper octave right now. I have not been able to for a month. But I could a little bit sing a little bit on my guitar this week in the key of G, so I did. And you know what happened after I sang on that Friday? This is Friday. I totally almost lost my voice again. And then we were able to sing together at the house Friday night, and that was really special for me. Really special. But I gotta tell you, there are people liking and commenting on that song on Facebook who I have sinned against and done wrong. Guys, Facebook is connecting you with people who knew me 30 years ago. They knew me a long time ago. A lot of people that knew me 20 years ago, when I was in my early 20s. And I was just coming into faith, but I had really left a lot of brokenness behind me, like all of us have done in relationships that we've had. So I'm not trying to throw myself under the bus or beat myself up. I'm trying to lead you where I want to go. One of the things that helps me keep doing my best. This is not a boast. I'm just stating a fact about who I am. The thing that helps me keep doing my best is I don't forget what Jesus has done for me. And when I do forget what Jesus has done for me, what's crazy about me is I don't stop doing my best necessarily, but I start feeling afraid. The moment I start to feel afraid, am I doing my best? If I feel afraid and then living in a feeling of fear, am I doing my best? No, it is not possible for you to do your best if you're dwelling in fear. Not over any concern or anything in your life. In fact, 1 John says perfect love casts out fear. But why is it casting out fear? It's casting out fear so we can become who God has created us to become. So he can restore to us our divinity. Amanda will always pray about once every 2 or 3 months. She'll come out and she'll pray, God, even if you're going to waste us, we say yes. Which is a powerful prayer in our marriage. And I don't believe God wastes anybody. I don't believe that. But I also know that when I feel afraid, the best thing for me to do is to confess the fear, but to go back and remember what Jesus has done for me. And then when I'm able to stand before you, I'm preaching to church of thousands. Because I'm not seeing the number in the room. I'm seeing the number of people connected. 12 people connected an hour this last week. How many other people didn't come up and talk to you? Think about that. Are you following me? Each one of you is connected to a massive group. How can I not be pumped? And the things, the way, the forms and the meetings we have to communicate right now. Thankfulness or fear. And once it's on the record, it is on the record, especially if it's digital and it never goes off the record. Never more than ever in history do we need to live without fear and be driven by love. So when Jesus says to Simon's answer, the one that got forgiven more is going to be more thankful, Jesus says, exactly right. And if that person who's been given more is not more thankful, then that says something deeply about them, about where they are spiritually. Turning toward the woman, Jesus said to Simon, the fact that he turns towards her, don't miss that, that's a big deal. He is giving him his full deference, his full attention. All right? It's almost like he's in her house now, and not in Simon's house. Do you see this woman? I entered your house. You gave me no water for my feet. She has wet my feet with her tears and wiped them with her hair. You gave me no kiss, Simon. From the time I came in, she has not ceased to kiss my feet. You did not anoint my head with oil, but she has anointed my feet with ointment. Psalm 23 in the New Living Translation says that you honor my head by anointing it with oil. I know a guy that's pretty deep in shepherding traditions, and he would argue pretty passionately that that's not what that means. He would argue that actually the anointing of oil to the sheep's head is a healing gesture. And that's what we do when they're injured. And here she is preparing him for burial, which he says in another text, right? She is honoring him, yes, but she is also serving him and anointing him and his feet with ointment. Therefore I tell you, her sins, which are many, are forgiven, for she loved much. And he who is forgiven little loves little. And he said to her, your sins are forgiven. Jesus has a huge uphill battle that ultimately on paper he does not win in his life according to the community around him, because it is the religious elite that execute him or lead that execution, right? Yet he never gives up. Of course, we know he won the battle. We know that he is risen from the dead and he has won the battle. But he never quits fighting this battle with his brother and sister Pharisees and Sadducees, or the were women who were high up in the church in the first century, believe it or not. And what I feel like he's saying to him is, you know what your problem is, Simon? You know what the label is supposed to say. You know how the label is supposed to look. And you know what you give me? You pack your trash in a pretty bottle. Somebody goes in and they use it to clean up, right? Or to clean up and they don't like it. Do you know what you do? You leave it out there on the shelf. There it is. Because you know to the next sucker that comes into your midst, they're going to see the label on your bottle and see the way it's presented and read the ad and think, that's a Pharisee who's really deep with God. Pharisee who's saying, I don't even know who this woman is. Let me tell you how jacked up your perspective is, Simon. I know everything about this woman. And that is why I'm letting her do what she's doing. The way you're looking at the world is totally wrong. And that is the religious perspective that we have. We want to believe we're giving God our best. We want to tell ourselves, this is all I got, I can't give anymore. But the problem is that every story that inspires us, every movie that rocks our heart, every story from Scripture that moves us to more excellence and more action is always about somebody giving more than what they think they can give. Right? Because we can convince ourselves that what's in our trash can is worthy of anointing Jesus' feet. And what stinks about us is the rhetoric from this is so tough. Because we know that if we put trash in a bottle that years ago had gold in it, that we can fool ourselves into thinking that we're giving Jesus the best we got. And I'm right there in that camp too. I confessed it earlier. I have given Jesus my best. But that doesn't mean when I'm living in fear that I'm giving him my best again. Am I coming up and preaching? Yes. Am I going to churches and speaking? Yes. I know. I have a label too. And when I come, people know who I am, but I know what's in my heart. I know what's going on inside. And I know that's where Jesus wants me to thrive, man, to be all His, is that heart reality. And if fear is in my heart, and I'm letting it linger 1 week to 2 weeks to 3 weeks, what I'll begin to believe about that fear is that nobody can cure me of it. This woman, you couldn't find anybody with more debt than this woman. And she boldly walked straight up, no fear, into that Pharisee's house. And not only is she not putting trash, she's got the alabaster vial, she's got the ointment, her tears in her hair. She's using her very soul and self to love on Jesus and to anoint Him. He says, your faith has saved you. Go in peace. And so to wrap this up, I'm skipping way ahead, but we're going to be coming to Luke 15 soon. Luke 15 is going to become our new Luke 4:18, just as Luke 6 has. It's going to be our new kind of benchmark teaching that launches us towards the crucifixion and the resurrection. The lost sheep, the lost coin, and the lost son. Dude's got 100 sheep. How many does he have with him? You remember it. 99. And he's missing 1. He leaves the 99. And he goes and he gets the 1. It's a risk. He steps through fear to leave the shirt thing and to go and get that 1. What about the lost coin? So a lady had a coin, right? She lost it. She tears her house apart. It happens in the Hub house regularly. We do this all the time, don't we? She tears the house apart until she finds that coin. The scripture says she seeks diligently until she finds the coin. And when she does, she celebrates. Because when the coin is lost, it doesn't have any value. Because it's not in community. It can't be put back into currency. Does that make sense? But when you find the coin, its value is redeemed. She is the receipt. Jesus pulls her out of the trash, wipes the grime off her, wipes the crud, the old diapers, and He restores her value to her. This is what He does. And that's what the woman does, and then of course, the lost son. For this your brother was dead, and is alive. He was lost and is found. And this is the toughest one, I think, for the Pharisees to imagine. By the way, these are messages to the Pharisees. I have it written right there. 15 verse 1. Now the tax collectors and sinners will all draw near to Him. And the Pharisees and the scribes grumbled, saying, this man receives sinners and eats with them. He is tearing up the way we balance power. And then He says, lost sheep, lost coin, lost son. But it's that lost son that really echoes Matthew 25. But we don't love the least of these. We love the least of these, my brothers. That's what the King says. In other words, we don't keep the least of these in the least of these category. The least of these become our brothers. They become our family. We have to be willing to do that. And no more extreme situation than a father saying to a son who said, give me my inheritance, Dad, as if you're dead. And let me go do what I want to do. And that dad runs out to the road to meet him. And brings him home with more honor than that boy could have ever imagined in his wildest dreams. In his mind, he was no better than a slave in his dad's eyes. And here he's booming away at the Pharisee in his house, his other son. This your brother was dead. And that's what Jesus is saying to Simon about this woman. This your sister was dead. She is alive. You're judging me for touching her. I condemn you. He doesn't condemn him. That's giant language right there. But I get in your face, all right? Because you're condemning her and you're not seeing the miracle. She is. So this is where I want to stop, and I want to just ask 2 questions. The first question is, right now, Sunday, today, are you giving Him your best? Are you giving Him your best? Are you falling on your feet and washing his feet with your tears and your hair, your alabaster and your ointment. Or do you know right now, you know, Johnny, I'm in the motion of trying to give something to Jesus, but it is just not my best. Well, remember, I've already given you the diagnostic. The diagnostic is if you've been living with some fear. If you felt fear influencing you, controlling you. Fear can show up as disinterest. When you stop talking to people or you start feeling disinterest towards them, or you tell yourself, I'm done with that. I'm done with them. That is usually the prideful way we overcompensate for the fear that is in our hearts, because we don't have the guts to love them and to wash their feet, to serve them. The second thing I would say is, this is harder because you have that mind that can erase a memory quicker than anything. The Holy Spirit can bring it up right now. You can do that. If you know in the last month you had a moment God called you to do something and you did not say yes, you got fear in your heart. That's not what he wants from you. Johnny, I don't know for sure that he asked me. Well, whoever does. Goodness gracious. What are we getting emails from God here, folks? No. We're called to love them with all our heart, love our neighbors as ourselves, make disciples of all nations, do whatever we got to do to make that happen. And not be picky about who puts in our way. So here's what I want to do. I want to just, this is a weird deal, because we have not built our altar yet. We're going to build an altar. Howard's helping me think through these details. Jenny, we're going to have you drop a design for us, hopefully, if you're open with that, because we got some questions that we can't answer. We thought maybe visually you could do something like that to help us. But until then, we got these steps, and I'm just gonna close in prayer, and I'm gonna go ahead and kick that down, and I'm gonna say, if you know you're not giving your best right now, I want you to be able to have a way to respond. So you can do a number of things. You can come up here if you got bad knees, and you can sit in one of these chairs. Or if you need to kneel, you can come up and kneel. Nobody's going to mess with you. Nobody's going to judge you. Nobody's going to read into what you're doing, because we're all doing this. Because the consequence is, if you do know that you're giving your best, that you're giving your best. And what I want you to pray about is who around you is totally in with Jesus 100%, but is not being seen, is being treated the way a Pharisee would treat them. Maybe you need to come in and pray for them. That's it. No music. Let's just pray. And if you want to come up, I'll pray over you. All right? Father, two things here. We know whether or not we're doing our best, whether or not we're giving you our best oil, our best appointment, weeping, and hair to clean your feet, to honor you. Sometimes, God, we get in situations where that is not what we are doing, and we need to confess and repent. And so we just want to take some time to do that right now. Some of us, God, feel like you are giving all of us right now. You are giving our best. But we've just had a huge blind spot in our minds of somebody else who completely belongs to you. And we just do not see them. We've been talking a lot about the children's ministry, pouring into our kids and teaching them. It's so easy for them to go unseen. And we so desperately need to pour into them and meet them where they are, God. And so I just pray that if there's anybody like that tonight, that's crushing it right now, but is overlooking somebody they're supposed to serve, or is not meeting with them, or not reaching out to them intentionally enough, God. I keep getting this image of a car that's not leaving the driveway. Maybe they know they're supposed to be going to these people, like that lost sheep, going and finding them, and they're not doing it because they got all the excuses. They've done it before, they whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know who that is. Help us to respond to your call today. And today we are praying publicly. In our personal gathering, sometimes we just need to step forward and let it be known